What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Game Show presented by Front Yard Fantasy. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my now older co-host, John Luke Garofalo. What's up, JL?
What up?
A whole day into 28. How's it feel?
It feels the exact same.
Your toes get longer? I'm pretty sure.
Oh, so long. Disgustingly long.
Everyone at 28.
I know. I don't get it.
Joey, whose toes have been long for a while, another member of the FYF fam. What's up, Joey? Welcome in.
I'm doing good. I don't have socks on, so I'm playing with my long toes. So I'm an old man. So
guys, also joining us today, we have a very special guest here to play some Fantasy Football Jeopardy with us. Marcus Mosher is joining the show. For those of you that do not know him, he's the host of Locked On Cowboys, and he's repping the Cowboys jerseys behind him. Marcus, thank you so much for joining us today, my man.
Of course. Thanks for having me on.
Of course, we are excited to have you here, and we've got some good Jeopardy questions ready to go for today. I'm excited for some of the questions we've got.
How good are they?
Be a fun. On a scale of 1 to 10, some of them are near the bottom, some of them are near the top. It's a mixed bag, so we'll see.
Okay. All right.
We got Craig in here saying one of the people in the thumbnail today is the best ever at what he does. The other is Tom Brady. Who else was in that thumbnail today?
I have no idea.
It was Josh.
It was Josh. Josh is the best at what he does, and
it's true,
man. And he's not even here. You're going to compliment Josh like this and doesn't even show up. Kason, what's up? He says, oh, yeah, it's FYF time. Indeed, it is 3 p.m. every day. And Dame as well. Welcome in. Glad to have you here.
Hey, Dame.
Guys, before we get started with our game today, a couple reminders. Number one, if you are not already following Marcus over on Twitter, go and follow him right now. He's on Twitter at Marcus_Mosher. It is his name. Just add an underscore right there in between. Easy to find. Make sure you guys are following him. After you do that, if you're watching this video, that means you're already on our YouTube channel. Go and hit that subscribe button and make sure you like this video. It is the easiest way to show your support for what we are doing. And Albert, welcome in. Glad to have you here. And Jay, glad someone pays attention to my hard work on the thumbnails. And Craig has got you, Jay. Craig has got you all the time for that. Guys, today Marcus is here to play some Fantasy Football Jeopardy. Today is going to be a little bit different. We're going to split the game into 2 halves. We are going to have a halftime. Marcus has to jump at 3:30, so we're going to have a halftime winner, and then we'll have a full-time winner. Jalen and Joey are going to continue battling it out. What Marcus dips and gives one of them a chance. Because with you here, those guys probably don't even stand a chance at winning.
Thanks for explaining that insult.
Wow.
You know, insults and jokes are best when you have to explain them, is what I've heard. So I'm going to go ahead and explain how this game is going to work, and then we'll get started playing. Make sure we've got time to go through a good number of these questions. This is just like the TV game show Jeopardy, but with a fantasy and NFL twist. Most of these questions are going to be about the NFL or fantasy. You might notice the grab bag category in the middle, and that is why I said most. Those could be about literally anything, football or just eggplant husbandology, whatever you want to study in there. There might be a question about it. Besides that, though, there are a couple other small changes. Number one, instead of buzzing in, we are going to be going in turn order. So Marcus, you're going to be going first, JL second, Joey third. Whenever it's your turn, you will be able to pick the question you want on the board. The other small change we did make, though, is if you get your question right. So Marcus, you're going up first. You're going to be able to pick anything you want. If you get your question right, you will then get to tell JL what category he has to pick his next question from. He'll still have full reign on if he wants anywhere from 100 to 500, but you will get to determine what category he's answering from. We'll go like this until we run out of questions or run out of time. And at the very end of our game, we will have a final Jeopardy question where contestants can wager the points that they have won. The person with the most points at the end of our game will be our champion.
Let's go.
Sweet. We got some people in the chat ready. Kason said, guess what, boys? My birthday is on Thursday. It's
a good birthday week for you.
Mm-hmm.
Sully, what's up? Welcome and glad to have you
Sully.
Here. And Jay said, that's not what I named the category, Simon. Jay, I forgot what you named the category. Realized 5 seconds ago it said enter category name here. And just made sure to name it right. Midnight, what's up? Welcome in. And Mr. Scampers, glad to have you here. Guys, I'm going to run through these categories real quick, explain to you what they are about. Our first category is let's talk points per game, or is what Jay said, you down with PPG is what it was supposed to be named. These are all going to be about points per game from this past season. The next category is horseshoes and hand grenades. This one could be about a multitude of statistics or things revolving around a player, but basically what I'm going to ask you to do is guess a number, and you need to be close within the range that I define. Could be receiving yards, could be touchdowns, could be something else, but I'll give you the range. You give me a number in that range. You just got to get close. Grab bag, as I said before, this could be anything. If you ain't first, you're last. This is all about draft capital, and these are all going to be questions asking you who was drafted first. So who was drafted earlier, not year-wise, but earlier in their respective drafts. And then start of something new, it's going to be all players who have switched positions. We're going to be talking position changes, whether from college to the NFL, in college, or NFL players that have changed their position at some point in their career.
Okay.
You guys ready? Marcus, you've got free reign of the board. The 100s are going to be easier, the 500s harder, and they scale in between. Which category and question would you like?
Yeah, let's do a start of something new for 100.
Start of something new for 100 for Marcus. What position did Terrell Pryor play at Ohio State and in the NFL before permanently switching to wide receiver in 2015? Was it safety, offensive tackle, or quarterback?
I actually got to see him play quarterback in high school and then in college. He was a fantastic quarterback in Pennsylvania. So the answer is quarterback.
The answer is quarterback. You got that one right, Marcus. And
Nice
that's gonna add $100 to your score. And that's a player that, like, I feel like as a Browns fan, like I was sitting there just waiting for the breakout at wide receiver for Terrell Pryor. That stands in my memory forever. But Marcus, you got that one right, which means you get to pick JL's category. Which category would you like him to
He's
answer?
going to do grab bag.
Grab bag. All right. I'll do grab bag for 300.
Grab bag for 300.
Yeah.
Okay, JL, which of these images is the accurate depiction of Pikachu?
Oh my God. It's the second one.
Final answer?
Yeah.
I am sorry. Pikachu does not have a black stripe on his tail. This
Damn
is an
it.
example of the Mandela effect in action. People tend to believe he does have a black stripe, but Pikachu does not have a black stripe on his tail. That was a tricky one. But isn't that crazy? I feel like I'm so used to seeing Pikachu all the time, and I thought the same thing whenever I saw it. So, Joey,
Yeah, they both looked right.
JL got that one wrong, which means you've got full reign of the board. Where are you going to go?
I'm going to go, let's talk PPG.
Let's talk PPG.
300.
300. Which of the following tight ends averaged over 10 points per game? Was it Hunter Henry, CJ Uzama, or Logan Thomas?
I'm going to say CJ Uzama because he had like 3 huge games at the end of the year. Like whenever they played a team that was terrible against tight ends, Burrow's like, choo, 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 choo. So I'm going to say Uzama.
Final answer?
Final answer.
It was Hunter Henry with 10.3.
I was way
Logan
off.
Thomas at 8.9 and CJ Uzama at 8. But I liked your logic, Joey. That did make sense.
Yeah.
Hunter Henry, I feel
but it wasn't right.
Underwhelming season to average over 10 points a game at the tight end position.
Though.
Yeah. So, Marcus, I wanted to come to you for Hunter Henry next season. What's your outlook for him? Is there any upside, or is this just the safe tight end option?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a ton of upside because they have Jonnu Smith and they have a bunch of third-round tight ends they drafted in 2020. I think he's a borderline tight end 1 this year.
Joey, do you agree with Marcus here?
Yeah, he's outside my top 12 at tight end. I think he's at 15th. I redid it yesterday to move. Who did I move up in the top 12? I forget. I think it was Dalton Schultz. Yeah, I moved up in the top 12. So yeah, 100. Yeah.
Bill, what about you? Are you in agreement with these guys?
Completely agree with them. Yeah, completely agree.
Cool. So, Joey, unfortunately, you got that one incorrect, which means Marcus, after one full round, does have the lead.
You guys should be embarrassed right now. This is bad. 100 points leads.
We can't be embarrassed. It's impossible. We've tried.
And Marcus, you have free reign of the board.
Yeah, let's talk PPG for 200.
Okay, 200 in that category. Which team had 3 wide receivers in the top 12 for points per game? Was it the Rams, the Cowboys, the Buccaneers, or the Vikings?
Let's go with the Buccaneers.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Buccaneers is absolutely
That's what I
correct.
was
Godwin,
gonna say,
Brown,
too.
and Evans were all in the top 3 for points per game. Brown being the trickier one since he only played in, 7 games this year, I think.
And Godwin dealt with some injuries as well, and so did Mike Evans. But yeah, anytime those guys were on the field, they were all very good.
Yeah, looks like the chat was nailing this one. Buccaneers, Bucks absolutely got it. Nice job. And Marcus, that's going to extend your lead 300-0 now.
Boom.
So these guys got a little bit of catching up to do, and you get to pick JL's next category.
Where are we going, Marcus?
Let's do horseshoes and hand grenades.
Oh, I hate this category. I'll go for 200, please.
200 in horseshoes and hand grenades. Within 2, how many receiving touchdowns did DK Metcalf have last season? And this is regular season, just so we're clear, for all of these questions, just regular season.
7.
Final answer?
Yeah.
I am sorry. He had 12 receiving touchdowns last season. I feel like that's the question that just keeps on giving. DK Metcalf seems to have been disappointing, but he had a couple huge touchdown games last year and brought him up to 12 total. I would have accepted anywhere from 10 to 14. Unfortunately, you're outside that range. But JL, with the new quarterback there in Seattle, how do you feel about DK Metcalf for next season? Is 12 touchdowns in the range of outcomes? Is his arrow up, down?
I mean, it's always certainly in DK Metcalf's range of outcomes, but I'm concerned. I'm very concerned. I don't think Drew Lock is a talented quarterback. I don't think he's going to really be able to inflate that offense at all. So,
Marcus, what about you? Are you nervous about DK Metcalf next year?
Yeah, I've got the touchdowns dropping all the way down to 6. I think it's going to be tough for him to even get 1,000 yards. He's going to get a ton of targets, but Drew Lock does not inspire much confidence there.
Yeah, absolutely not. And look at Josh coming in here, getting it. He got the whole range. He said he had 10 to 14 touchdowns.
You only had to guess one number, Josh.
Nailed it, Josh. Absolutely nailed it. Marcus, or no, that was JL. Sorry, JL, you got that one wrong, which means it is Joey's turn. And Joey, you've got free reign of the board.
All right, I'm gonna go grab bag for 400.
Grab bag for 400.
Just hope it's a movie question.
Who is this character?
Oh, he's on BoJack Horseman, but I don't know his name. Fred?
Final answer?
Sure.
His name is Mr. Peanut Butter. Mr. Peanut Butter is the dog on BoJack Horseman, Joey. Unfortunately, you got that one wrong, but
I'm glad I took it off the board because I feel like JL would have known that.
No, I would have had no idea.
Marcus, would you have gotten that one? Do you watch BoJack?
I do not, so I'm glad that's off the board.
Yeah,
Oops.
me too.
Well, then that was a tough one, I guess. My apologies.
I get nothing for knowing the show it's on, huh?
Nope, not a single dollar. You get the moral victory. Marcus, it's back to you, and you've got free reign. Where do you want to go?
Let's go start us something new for 500. Let's get a tough one.
Going big. Which player, known for being an elite defensive end in the NFL, played tight end their freshman year at Central Michigan? Was it Chase Young, Zadarius Smith, J.J. Watt, or Myles Garrett?
Yeah, it's J.J. Watt. It's hard to believe that the pass catchers for that team were J.J. Watt and Antonio Brown with Dan Lefevre throwing him the ball. But yeah, J.J. Watt is the answer.
J.J. Watt is the answer, and you
Nice.
gave me more details than even I knew about that one. I was shocked today to find out he played tight end at Central Michigan. But yeah, kind of crazy. And then something I learned today is he actually requested to switch positions to offensive tackle at Central Michigan before transferring to Wisconsin and switching over to defense. So J.J. Watt wanted to become an offensive lineman before he switched over to the defensive side of the ball. Absolutely incredible. And you have to imagine he probably would have killed it. Like he's athletic enough.
Yeah.
He would have been a killer offensive tackle. So Marcus, that adds 500 to your total. You've got a pretty big lead now.
Yeah.
800 to 0.
We're coming back, Joey. Come on.
You get to send JL to his next category.
Yeah, it's grab bag again.
Damn it, Marcus. I'll go 200.
200. Which of these is not a real style of beer? Is it the American Cream Ale, the Wee Heavy, the German style Dunkel, or the Belgian style Blom?
How is this a 200? Let's go with Belgian style Blom.
Final answer?
Yeah.
That is correct, Dale. Blom just means flour in Dutch. I just picked a Dutch word and threw it after Belgian style. The other ones are all real styles, including Wee Heavy is a real one, which looks like the chat was all on Wee Heavy as the fake
Wee
one.
Heavy.
Isn't this the style of beer of Little Mexico, St. Gerard's? The
Yeah.
official?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Serious.
Nice job, Dale. You are on the board with that answer after complaining about how could this be a $200 question.
I just
You get it
played
right.
you.
Where's Joey going to go?
Joey's going to grab bag.
100 or 500, Joey?
Let's go 500. Let's see if I can do this. I believe in myself today.
Which of the following is not one of the Koopalings, aka Bowser's minions in the Mario franchise? Larry, Morton, Ludwig, Irwin, Wendy, Iggy, Roy, and Lemmy.
I know Ludwig, Wendy, Roy, and Lemmy are because you can play them on Mario Kart. Iggy, I feel is true. I'm gonna say Morton is not one.
Final answer?
Yeah.
You broke it down
Oh
so
my God,
well.
I thought you had it.
Irwin. It is
You were so
Irwin.
confident.
Joey, I thought for sure you were going to get there because you started rattling off the ones that were real.
When you said Morton, I was like, boom, it makes so much sense. Of course, Morton is the wrong one here.
Irwin, I
that's
skipped
typical.
over Irwin when I was going in the order too.
People in the chat getting this one. Irwin. Josh said
This
Irwin,
should have been
I
in
would
the
say.
horseshoes and hand grenades category because I was close.
No
You were
way you all
close.
knew that.
But
And Sully said, poor Joey knows everything but the questions he's asked. Yeah, it's a rough
I
life.
feel that. I understand that.
I don't think I'm here for my brains. So,
Marcus, you've avoided one rule of our game so far, and you avoided it again. You get to pick your own category and
Yeah,
question.
let's do start us something new for 400. Let's get through this category.
400. Which current NFL starting quarterback played their first 2 years at Texas A&M as a wide receiver before becoming the starting quarterback in 2010? Is it Derek Carr, Ryan Tannehill, Jimmy Garoppolo, or Russell Wilson?
It's Ryan Tannehill, and he was actually a pretty interesting wide receiver prospect because he was so big and he's pretty fast for his size. But 1 year production at quarterback and got him to be the number 8 overall pick.
You are absolutely correct. Yet again, I got to start giving out like bonus points for, and not just which player it is, but a little bit of the backstory there. You got that one right.
I knew that.
I thought this was going to be a tough category, Marcus, and you were coming in here just absolutely killing these. You got them. Yeah, that would have been interesting. Ryan Tannehill at wide receiver. I feel like if you didn't know that would just be shocking to find out that he used to play wide receiver, as he's like one of the ingrained starters in the NFL. Look at this. Chosen Rose said, wow, really? And Sully said, damn, Marcus, just coming in here with the knowledge.
Coming in hot.
And Mr. Scamper said, I am the same size as Ryan Tannehill. That is a massive cat.
You are a very big cat, sir.
That is such a huge cat.
You
Marcus,
really can't tell from that picture.
You get to pick JL's next category. What is it going to be?
It's grab bag for 100.
You son of a gun.
This is 100. You should be able to get it.
JL, here's your question.
You think, Marcus.
Which shoe company is named after the Roman goddess of victory? Is it Skechers? Is it New Balance? Or is it Nike?
Oh my God. The Roman goddess of victory. I feel like the only answer that makes sense is Nike. I'm going Nike.
Nike is correct, JL.
If it was Skechers or New Balance, Simon, I was going to slap you across the face.
Wait, didn't
like
Joey
this.
get one or did JL get one earlier? No, yeah, Joey hasn't
Joe,
gotten one yet. So
I haven't
Joe,
gotten anything.
you are at 300. Marcus is at 1,200. And Joey, you are currently at 0. But JL, you do get to pick Joey's next category.
All right, let's send Joey to horseshoes and hand grenades.
100.
100 for Joey in that
I
category.
need some points.
I love
Please
this in
be
here.
easy.
New Balance would be a funny god name. Yeah.
I would have said it
New
upon
Balance.
principle because New
Skechers.
Balance
Sounds
are
good.
awesome.
Oh, hail goddess Skechers. Joe, you said 100 for horseshoes and hand
Yeah,
grenades?
yeah.
Okay, let's get this in here. Within 3, how many years has Tom Brady played in the NFL?
21.
Final answer?
Final answer.
He has played 22, so you are well within that range. I would accept it anywhere from 19 to 25. So, Joey, that is going to add 100 to your score for getting that one correct. And looks like people in the chat got this one. Mr. Scampers with 22. Alex very close with 73. Midnight a little too low, and then Ladarius in here killing it with 22. And Sully
22.
right there in that range of 24. Nice job, guys. Joey, for the first time this game, you get to pick Marcus's category.
Thank you for pointing that out.
welcome.
Let's talk PPG. He's going there.
Okay, Marcus, which value would you like?
Let's
100,
do
400,
400.
500. 400 it is. Which of the following wide receivers did not average 15 plus points per game in 2021? So all of these guys did except for one. Was it Justin Jefferson, AJ Brown, Mike Williams, Adam Thielen, or T. Higgins?
I believe it was AJ Brown. I don't think AJ Brown had a super good year last year. I'm going to go with AJ Brown.
Final answer?
Yes.
You are absolutely correct. AJ Brown averaged 13.9. All of the rest of these guys averaged over 15 points per game. I thought Mike Williams might be the trick in there because he started out hot and then petered off towards the end of the year. But you saw right through it, Marcus.
Yep.
Going to add another 400 to your score right there. And I'm just going to tell you, this score is a high score for the end of the game, Marcus, sitting here at 1,600. This is a score people get to by the end of the game.
Let's keep rocking them up. Let's do it.
So you're killing it. You get to pick JL's next category.
We're going to do, if you ain't first, you last.
At least it's not grab bag. I'll do 300.
300. Which of these players was drafted the earliest in their respective NFL draft? Was it Johnny Manziel, Teddy Bridgewater, or Blake Bortles?
Manziel.
Final answer?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Blake Bortles was the third overall pick in 2014.
Yeah.
Manziel and Bridgewater, that same draft. All three of these first-round quarterbacks, though.
I got scared when you said Manziel, and I was like, no, Bortles. I thought he was taking fourth. But yeah.
It's a weird draft.
That was a tough one. Yeah, that was a really weird
Best
draft.
quarterback in the draft, Derek Carr, second-round pick.
Yeah. Joey, which category would you like?
Let's go horseshoes and hand grenades for 300.
Horseshoes and hand grenades for 300. Within 75, how many receiving yards did Cordaro Patterson have last season? Also, Marcus said he only needs 30 minutes to beat these two.
675.
Too high.
Final answer?
Yeah, even though I said
it was too high. He had 548, so the range is from 473 to 623. So Joey, unfortunately, you do not get points for that one.
Yeah. This is like golf, the low score wins.
Number I had in my head was 637, which would just have been out of range, which would have killed me. So I'm glad that wasn't my question.
We probably got time to run through one more round before we hit that halftime. So Marcus, which question would you like here?
Let's do horseshoes and hand grenades. I haven't had one of those yet. I'm excited.
400 or 500?
Let's do 400.
400. Within 5, how many touchdowns plus interceptions did Justin Herbert throw last season?
So I believe he threw 38 touchdowns last year and 15 interceptions. So I'm going to guess, let's guess 53.
Final answer?
Yes.
Jeez Louise, 53 exactly. 38 touchdowns and 15 interceptions. This should be get it exactly right category for you, not horseshoes and hand grenades. You got that one right on the money, Marcus. Going to extend your lead to 2,000. But I was a little bit surprised whenever you go through all these top quarterbacks outside of Matthew Stafford. I didn't remember Justin Herbert throwing so many interceptions.
He had a couple games where he had 3 or so interceptions. So yeah, it is a little shocking that he was among the top quarterbacks in interceptions last year.
Yeah, definitely surprising.
Yeah.
Marcus, where are you sending JL for his next
let's
category?
do if you ain't first, you last.
All right, let's go with 200.
200. Which of these players was drafted the earliest in their respective NFL draft? Was it Jonathan Taylor, Javonte Williams, or Josh Jacobs?
Josh Jacobs.
Final answer?
Yeah.
You are absolutely correct. He was the only one of these that was a first-round pick. The other two were second-round picks, but fairly early in the second round. Josh Jacobs was picked in the first round in 2019. Nice job, JL. I thought that one was a little bit tricky with those other two names up there. But now you get to pick Joey's category.
All right, Joey. Let's go with start of something new.
200, please.
200. Which former BYU quarterback is now a tight end for the New Orleans Saints?
Taysom Hill. I almost forgot.
Taysom Hill is absolutely correct. This is one where I started putting answer choices. Then I was like, I can't put answer choices for this. Like this will be too easy. But Joey, you got that one right.
Yeah, no, it was easy. That's why I almost forgot it. I was like, yeah, horseshoes and hand grenades for Marcus.
Well, guys, we are gonna call the halftime score at this point. This is going to be our halftime winner. Joey and JL. You know what? I don't even know if we need to call it a halftime winner. Let's just see if either of you guys in the rest of this game can beat Marcus. Marcus has set the score to beat at 2,000. You guys will have the rest of this game. But Marcus, I wanted to thank you so much for taking the time to come on with us today and play our game a little bit. And the knowledge you've shared just in this 30 minutes has been incredible.
Oh, of course. Thanks for having me on. I'd love to come back sometime.
Absolutely. And guys, if you are not already following our friend Marcus over on Twitter, make sure you guys go follow him right now at Marcus_Mosher. It is his name right there below his face, just with an underscore in there. So make sure you guys are following him over there. Joey, any parting words to your fellow competitor?
So what I'm supposed to do, JL, you say, Joey, when you come on the show, you just let the guests answer them all right, even if you know them. So that's what I did. So I did what I was supposed to do.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. Now you're not going to miss any, right?
Nope.
Yeah, Joey, go get him.
It's going to be perfect from here on out. But Marcus, we really appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Marcus.
We'd love to have you back on sometime and come beat everybody else at this game.
Absolutely. Cool. Good luck, guys.
Sounds good. Talk to you later, Marcus. Guys, round 2 is upon us. We have some questions in the chat before we jump back in there, but just for an update to everybody, the current score landscape: Marcus with 2,000, JL with 500, and Joey with 300.
Can I even get up to 2,000? Yeah, I can. Okay.
Especially with Final Jeopardy. NBA had a question said, Common JL, Bortles is the poster QB for out of the league sooner than his third overall. Do you guys think Mariota is better than Bortles' career stats? So, JL, who do you think is the better quarterback, Mariota or Blake Bortles?
I'll go with Mariota.
Mariota. Joey, what about you?
Yep, he's still there. So
he is still there.
And I do think he could be good in Atlanta next year if they don't give the job to Ritter.
I think we at least see Mariota for a couple games in Atlanta before. And if he's playing fine, I don't think Atlanta thinks they're competing for a Super Bowl next year. So if Mariota's doing enough to keep them moderately competitive, I think we keep seeing Mariota in those games.
Mm-hmm.
There was one other question I saw in here, but I have lost it. Can't find it. That's okay. If I missed your question, just ask it again and we'll gladly answer it. But Joey, you did get that question right on the last round, which means you're going to pick JL's next category.
Horseshoes and hand grenades.
All right, 500.
Hey, JL. Within 20, how many actual points did Austin Eckler score in the NFL last season? So this is like points in a football game.
122.
Final answer?
Yeah.
JL, you were very, very close. It was 124. He had 20 total touchdowns, 12 rushing, 8 receiving, worth 6 points apiece. And then he had 2 2-point conversions, putting him at 124 overall. JL, that was impressive.
I impressed myself. Total guess.
Total guess? Well, maybe you just know enough about Austin Eckler that you got that one right. I did want to talk a little bit about Austin Eckler before we go into the next question. So, Joey, they did draft a running back, though it wasn't with a lot of draft capital. Austin Eckler's getting older. JL mentioned how he seems to be the only running back in that age group kind of excluded from the age bias in Dynasty right now. Do you have concerns around Eckler's workload going into this season?
Nope. None at all. I love Austin Eckler. I think this, and now in Dynasty after this year, I'll start worrying. But he didn't have a whole season last year, so I think I have him as my RB2 next year. I love him. I love him, especially in PPR.
JL, what about you? Where do you have Austin Eckler ranked as far as Dynasty rankings go? Where does he fall in with the other running backs?
I don't know where I have him ranked. He is a little bit down there, though. He's definitely in that probably tier 3 grouping of running backs. In redraft formats, I'm not too worried, but Dynasty, he is getting older, and I do think that you gotta consider that he's at his ceiling.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm in full agreement with you guys. For redraft, I'm all in for next year. I haven't done my redraft rankings for next season, but Joe, I imagine he won't be far behind where you have him. He's likely a top 5 guy consensus for next season.
I think if McCaffrey's in training camp too, he's going to bump up ahead of Austin Eckler because Austin Eckler, I believe he's the consensus number 2 running back right now. And so I feel like McCaffrey will move ahead of him. Derrick Henry will move ahead of him. And then I'll start to really like the value on Eckler next year.
Absolutely. Midnight did have a trivia question for us. We're the only 2 players to play in the NCAA Final Four and the Super Bowl. So this is a basketball player. I have no idea. Antonio Gates.
Is Gates one of them? And Jimmy Graham? I don't know.
Yeah, let's just guess a bunch of tight ends because that's their favorite tight end. Fun fact.
Wait, Charlie. No, Charlie Ward wasn't in the Super Bowl. Where am I at?
Joe, you get to pick Joey's next category. What is his category?
All right, Joey. Let's go to if you ain't first, you last.
We're gonna do that for 400. I'm glad you sent me there.
I'm glad I sent you there.
I would have been happy with anything. I'm just happy to be here.
Okay, Joey, 400.
Yeah, 400.
You ain't first, you last for 400. Which of these players was drafted the earliest in their respective NFL draft? Was it Adam Shaheen, Mark Andrews, or Travis Kelsey?
I feel like Adam Shaheen is a trick. I feel like you want me to pick that, but I'm not going to pick Adam Shaheen. I'm gonna say Mark Andrews.
Final answer?
Final answer.
It was the double trick. Adam Shaheen was pick 45 overall. Travis Kelsey picked 63, and Mark Andrews picked 86. He was a 3rd round pick that year. But I was going through this list, and there were so many awful tight end names I could have picked ahead of these 2 guys that were just truly shocking to put in there. But Adam Shaheen was, in fact, drafted first out of this bunch of tight ends. Guys, any hope for Shaheen next year? I'm just kidding. We don't have to talk. We don't have to talk about Shaheen. The chat was on top of this one.
Where are they?
On Cowboys, Shaheen. Oh, now we got Marcus in the chat getting the questions right. Shaheen right there. Josh said it might be Shaheen. Alex with Shaheen. Albert Shaheen. Sully Andrews. Ladarius.
Ooh, Sully.
Shaheen.
I would have said Kelsey.
Mr. Scamper is also with Mark Andrews. Midnight said Peppers and McNabb is the trivia answer. I would have never gotten that one. That is awesome. Joey, you got that one wrong, unfortunately.
I did.
JL gets to pick his next question.
All right, let's do start of something new for 300.
Okay. Which wide receiver drafted by the Carolina Panthers in 2015 played tight end for the University of Michigan prior to switching positions in the 2014 season? Is it Curtis Samuel, Devin Funchess, or Kelvin Benjamin?
Kelvin Benjamin.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Sorry, it was Devin Funchess.
What?
Devin Funchess played tight end for his first couple seasons, didn't take his first wide receiver snap until his last year at Michigan, and was drafted in 2015.
Benjamin tried to become a tight end.
Yeah, no, he actually played offensive line.
Kelvin Benjamin
terrible.
did.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I know not the answer to this question, but I did want to ask you guys about Curtis Samuel. He seemed to be kind of a sleeper last season that a lot of people were excited for, someone that might break out or have a role in that offense. Joey, we'll come to you first. Is there any hope for Curtis Samuel in this Commanders offense, or is he someone that you're not drafting?
I wrote about Curtis Samuel more than any player last offseason. I really planted my flag, and I really got taken to town on it.
Taken to town.
Man, I'll tell you what, even with Wentz there, I just don't have a whole lot of, with Dotson there, I don't have a whole lot of hope for Curtis Samuel now. And I hate to say that. A lot of my love for Curtis Samuel is tied to Ryan Fitzpatrick because he targets the slot so much. For next year, I'm not super high on Curtis Samuel. I like where you can get him. You can take it at the end of a draft and just, hey, we'll see what happens. But I don't have much faith in him.
Yeah, I have no interest.
No interest from you, JL. What about the other receiving options there? So, Joey, does Dotson have interest for you for redraft this year, or is he a dynasty play?
More of a dynasty play. I wouldn't really target him too much in redraft.
Bill, what about you? I know you've been maybe not higher on Dotson, but just recognizing the value that he presents among this rookie wide receiver class. Do you have any interest for this coming year?
I mean, from a dynasty perspective, yes. This coming year, no, I want to see how that offense shakes out, the quarterback position. I did draft Jahan Dotson in one of my rookie drafts. Very excited about that, but yeah, I'm not expecting much from him this season.
Yeah, I tend to be in line with you. One last question before we move on, just because I feel like it is an interesting wide receiver room. Does the addition of Jahan Dotson hurt Terry McLaurin for you guys, or is it a positive?
Doesn't affect him negatively, in my opinion.
You guys think he's still the one on that offense?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I tend to agree with you. I've seen some overreactions on both sides, but tend to agree with you on that front. What is going on in the chat here? Dotson has a lot of upside from Josh. Yeah, I completely agree. And very, very, very few
reads like LinkedIn endorsements from Josh here.
Josh does LinkedIn endorsements for NFL players.
Yeah.
Who answered that last question? Joey answered that last question, which means we are moving on to JL. JL, which question would you like?
I get to pick my own category?
Yeah, you do.
Wait.
No, I just got it wrong.
Oh, you said it wrong.
Yeah.
You guessed Kelvin Benjamin, which means it's Joey's turn.
Joey's like, wait, no.
Let's talk points per game for 500. I got to get some points
per
here.
game for 500 from Joey. Put these running backs in order of highest to lowest points per game. This is from this past season. DeAndre Swift, Aaron Jones, Damian Harris, Javonte Williams. I need you to put these guys in order.
Williams, Jones, Harris, Swift. Swift missed a lot of time. Tail, what?
Just mumbling.
Oh, me?
Cool.
Yeah.
So your final answer. So put these running backs in order of highest to lowest points per game is what
Williams, Harris, Jones, Swift.
Williams, Harris, Jones, Swift. Okay. JL, do you have a guess?
Highest points per game. I would go with Williams, Jones, Harris, Swift.
Okay. The correct answer is the order I had them in.
Wow.
DeAndre Swift, Aaron Jones, Damian Harris, Javonte Williams is the order right there.
I had it just in the reverse order.
Yeah, you did it.
I could not have been more wrong. Like if I tried, I could not have been more wrong.
Yeah, absolutely perfect there, Joey, on that one. We had one guess in the chat. Mr. Scamper's going AJ, Aaron Jones, Damian Harris, DeAndre Swift, Javonte Alliams. I'm guessing is what that A stands for, but this one was tricky. Just so you guys know, also this points per game category, you can thank G-Min J for on this one. He wrote all of these questions
thank him
for us
when I get off the show. I'll thank him heartily.
JL, you get to pick your next category. Which question would you like?
I'll take the last. No,
Go ahead, bury me.
No, I can't. I'll take the last PPG.
The last PPG. Name a flex player, running back, wide receiver, or tight end who averaged more than 20 points per game in 2021. There's a couple of them. I just need you to give me one of them.
Cooper Kupp.
Final answer?
Yeah.
In the 100s, you can almost always answer Cooper Kupp, and it'll be right. But Cooper Kupp is the correct answer. The players ended up being Cooper Kupp, Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, Austin Eckler, Devontae Adams, and Deebo Samuel. JL, if you were tasked with picking one name from this list that doesn't return to value next year, that busts according to where they're drafted, which player is that going to be? Because these were the best flex plays in fantasy football this year when they were healthy.
That is a tough question. I will go with Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry? Is it just a volume thing or
no? You know what? I'm going to go with Deebo. I'm going to go with
Deebo Samuel.
Yeah.
I see Joey nodding down there. Do you agree it's Deebo for you?
I would have said Deebo. Yeah. When he said Henry, I was a little like, okay, I'm going to hear why. But no, it's Deebo. I don't see him being what he was last year.
Is it regardless or irregardless of him switching teams? Just
it's part of it.
Part of it
for sure.
Joey, is there anything else that about Deebo that makes you concerned?
Oh, did I lose?
He's back.
Oh, he's back. Okay. I'm a little worried about Trey Lance, to be honest. If he stays with 49ers. So
yeah, I get that. We talked a little bit about Austin Eckler already. Jonathan Taylor, the situation staying pretty much the same, right? There's a new quarterback in town, but how big of a difference is it for him for the switch from Carson Wentz to Matt Ryan? Devontae Adams is the other one that I thought one of you guys might say, but JL, you still have faith in Devontae Adams on this Raiders team?
Yeah, I think he's one of the most talented wide receivers to play in recent memory. I think he's fantastic. I do think that his upside's a little more limited on this new offense than it was in Green Bay, but not to the point that I'm concerned.
Yeah, absolutely. Joey, anything to add there about Devontae Adams, or do you agree with JL?
I think he's a top 12 wide receiver, but I don't think he can be the number one wide receiver anymore. And I don't care what the chemistry is between him and Carr. He doesn't have Aaron Rodgers thrown to him. So
it caps his ceiling. Yeah, Derek Carr is not Aaron Rodgers. And Josh in here saying Adams or Deebo, I guess for me. I think Adams is really freaking good, but just because he's the only one switching teams at the moment.
Which is completely fair, in my opinion.
100% fair. Nice job, JL. You got that one right. Going to add 100 to your score. Woo! And there's only one category left, Joey. So really, you just get to pick which question you want.
So if I pick them, I mean, I guess I'll do the 500 to make it interesting.
So we go big.
Put these kickers in order of earliest drafted to latest drafted.
Oh, wait. I might be able to do this. Janikowski, Aguayo. And then this last two are going to be a guess.
One of those guys went to Georgia Tech.
Oh, man. I have no idea where Bucker or York were drafted, but I know Janikowski was the first round. Aguayo was the second rounder because I cursed out. I went.
Oh, I forgot you're a Bucs fan.
Yeah. So I'm going to go Janikowski, Aguayo, York, Butker.
Final answer?
Final answer.
You did it, Joey. You
Yes.
got it absolutely right. Janikowski was a first-round pick. Aguayo was a second-round pick. Then York was picked in the 6th round, and Harrison Butker in the 7th round. York was the kicker that the Browns took this year in this year's draft.
Okay.
And then Butker was back in 2017. Joey, I did not expect anyone to get that, but you
Well, here I am.
absolutely know.
Josh
your kicker
almost got
draft
it
history.
exactly right.
Mr. Scampers with the let's go, Joey. Yeah, Josh, you were so close. You did exactly what Joey was debating between, mixing up the Cade York and the Harrison Butker.
Yeah, I knew there was two of them that were like, okay, I knew those, but okay.
The only person I have confidence in that would ever get this question right is Linda. Like I know she would have gotten this one, but there's not a single other person where I'm like confident they know their kicker history.
I'm gonna send this clip to Linda for Christmas. Bick, this is my Christmas present to you. I appreciate you and your kicker knowledge.
So Josh said almost exactly right. And not just almost right, almost exactly right on that one. Guys, we went through this board rather quickly, but there's one left. You guys want to just see it before we pull up Final Jeopardy?
Yes.
If you ain't first, you're last. Which of these players was drafted the earliest in their respective NFL draft? Was it Drake London, Treylon Burks, or Sky Moore? You guys know this?
Mm-hmm.
You can answer.
Drake London. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Drake London. This one was fairly easy. He was a top 10 pick this year. The other, Treylon Burks, still a round 1 pick. And then Sky Moore, not a round 1 pick, a round 2 pick in this year's draft. You guys got that one exactly right. And JL, you have snuck up. You are within striking distance of Marcus after that full game. Joey, you can still beat JL for this end of game victory right here. But we're going to have to get into our Final Jeopardy question. Joey with 800, JL with 1,100, and Marcus with 2,000 going into this round. We will just assume a $0 wager for Marcus here. So you guys can use that knowledge as you see fit. Your category going into this last round is individual player stats. Individual player stats. So if you guys could write down what your wagers will be, we can get into our Final Jeopardy question. JL with 1,100. Joey with 800. Marcus with 2,000. Carlos has a bonus question for us. He said, after a long 5 years, what iconic rapper is dropping their next album this Friday? Do either of you guys know?
Wait, what was the question?
Carlos wants to know, after a long 5 years, what iconic rapper is dropping their next album this Friday?
K-Dot.
K-Dot?
Mm-hmm.
Get some guesses in the chat. Josh said Kendrick. Got it right there. And Carlos said, Josh, you win all the marbles.
That means I win all the marbles.
You also win all the marbles.
I would have said Alanis Morissette. She's my favorite rapper.
She's your favorite rapper?
Yeah. Isn't that ironic?
Yeah, that's so ironic, Joey. Yeah, you guys have your wagers written down?
Yeah.
Wait.
I'm trying to make it pretty.
Give you guys a second to get that done. JL, you got yours? Joey still making yours pretty?
I got mine.
Okay, what did you guys wager? Joey wagered $6.99 and JL wagered $9.01. 1 second, I got to do some math here.
I don't know if I did
$6.99 right. And $9.01 for JL. I'm going to go ahead and pull this question up, guys. While you guys are figuring out your answer, I'll do the math, figure out what your scores will be if you get it right or wrong. But your question is, which of these players had the most receiving yards in 2021? Was it Christian Kirk, Darren Waller, Brandon Ayuk, or Tim Patrick? Which of these guys had the most receiving yards in 2021? So I'll give you guys a little bit of time to figure that one out. Write down your answers, and then we will reveal them. Let's see. We got some guesses in the chat on this one. Oh, Carlos said, JL, you win runner-up marbles. So you just get the runner-up marbles.
I didn't know we were playing for marbles. It's usually Cole's cash.
What are you going to do with all your marbles, JL?
I'm gonna hide them.
Where are you going to hide them?
I'm not telling. They're my marbles. You can't have them.
Were they your birthday marbles? A little smirk. Yeah, JL gets special marbles on his birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Some people guessing in the chat. Let me know when you guys have your answers.
I got mine.
I'm trying to write it like Jeopardy.
But very messy handwriting, scribbled at the last minute with at least one thing crossed out.
I did the initials to make it easy.
Okay, guys, go ahead and reveal your answers. Brandon
We said the
Ayuk,
same
you
thing.
guys both said Ayuk for this question. We had some guesses in the chat. Mr. Scamper said Timmy P. Midnight said Waller or Ayuk. Albert said Patrick. Tim said Kirk. And Josh said Kirk, I believe, with all the confidence in the world. The player that had the most receiving yards this past season out of all of these players was Christian Kirk with 982 receiving yards. Who are the other names we had? Waller had 665. Tim Patrick had 734. And Ayuk had 826. So Ayuk wasn't second, but it was by over 150 yards. Oh, shoot, JL. I read it wrong the first time. That's my bad.
See, I win.
So, JL, you were going to end with $199. Joey, you were going to end with 101. And Marcus is going to end with 2,000, making him our winner for today. And he's not even here to celebrate. Say GG. Yeah, he made it tough. I was like half joking whenever I was trash talking you guys at the beginning, but he like took that to heart. He was like, no, I'm going to make it impossible for these guys to win. Just getting in there right there. Nice job, guys. That is all of our questions that we have for today. All of our Jeopardy questions. I know it is a little bit earlier than usual with our game, but sorry, excuse me right there. Before we end the show, I did want to talk to you guys a little bit about these receivers, specifically Christian Kirk in Jacksonville. Is there any way that he replicates this over 900 yards on this Jacksonville offense, Joey?
I over 900, yes. I think if Trevor Lawrence is the quarterback that we think he can be, if he is this, once in a generation talent, there's all the room in the world for Kirk to do it. Will he? I guess we'll see, but I think it's possible 900 yards.
Jail, what about you? Do you think Kirk can replicate the production from last season after they paid him, $20 million?
So, yeah, I think he certainly can. I think it's going to take this offense taking a step forward, but I think it's absolutely in his realm of possibilities. I don't think it was a particularly impressive year, so I don't think it would be difficult to beat it.
Yeah, it's not like it was crazy, but I think it was a little bit shocking for me whenever I see that he was only like 18 yards shy of 1,000 yards this past year. I mean, how many touchdowns? 5 touchdowns? But definitely replicatable. And I'm with you guys. I'm projecting this Jacksonville offense to take at least a step forward, hopefully not going backwards, and that should help Kirk out this coming season. Mr. Scampers got it absolutely right with Ayuk Kirk trick. Nice job, Mr. Scampers. Nailed it on that one. And Tim wants to know, when's the FYF Dynasty live draft mega stream? Well, first there needs to be an FYF Dynasty, and then there needs to be a draft, and then
an FYF Dynasty, like a real dynasty.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming he means here. It doesn't say anything about a league in this description.
Yeah.
So I assuming we're starting the Front Yard Fantasy Dynasty. I don't know what land we'll rule over, but we'll find some land. Oh, all of the land.
Yeah, all of it.
Guys, that is going to be it for us this afternoon. Thank you, everybody who tuned in and played some Fantasy Football Jeopardy with us. Thank you to Marcus, who was able to join us at the beginning here. And thank you, JL and Joey, for doing your best.
For being your punching bag for the last hour.
Hey, some of those
You're very welcome.
I put that Pikachu question in there for you. I thought maybe you would get that one, JL.
No,
Which question did you put in there for me?
None of them, Joey. There were none specifically for you. I mean, the kicker question was there for you.
I mean, I was a top 10 analyst in kickers on Fantasy Pros last year.
There you
go. That's a fact.
So
that is a fact.
It was tailored directly towards you.
That's an impressive thing to tell people.
Not really. I thought, I told my wife, and I thought she's gonna be really excited, and she's like, "Did you do the dishes?" I was like, "No." I was like, "Okay."
Mr. Scamper said, "Greater than the Ming Dynasty, rulers of all the internet." We got a little bit of work to do to catch up to the Ming, but we're on our way. We're getting there. Guys, that is going to be it for us. Thank you again to everybody. We'll be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Until then, though, adios, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Trading makes fantasy fun.
Oh, thank God.